We have a real character. At least that's what Marie has said to me about him. His lovely wife, Marie, is not with him today, but Reverend Dr. Lewis Cates. I don't really know that much about Lou other than the fact that he perhaps grew up in a different religious phenomena, similar to what we did, perhaps. But I know there's been times in which I've seen him touch people with both his messages and his readings. Their eyes lit up. Sometimes they cry. And I hope that he does that to you today, Reverend Lou Gates.
Glad to be back. Glad to be back here. My lecture today, my talk today, is going to be on connecting. A lot of us connect to spirit. We want to connect to spirit, higher self. Want to connect to our inner child. Want to connect to people. Want to connect to all these situations in our lives. And we spend a lot of time trying to do that. Either we're tolerating our lives or celebrating it. Most of us are just tolerating getting by. Tolerating our existence, tolerating what's going on in our lives. Instead of asking spirit. My mother always told me that I had 15 guides following me. They were all my people. They were sent to help me. So if they're sent to help you, encourage you, get you down the path, then you should be able to ask them to bring you things, to enrich your life. We spend a lot of time telling ourselves how bad our lives are. We beat ourselves up. We tell ourselves that it's not good. We're not having a good day. It's going to be an awful day. We get up in the morning and go, oh, another day. Instead of blessing our day and kind of creating our existence, creating our day every single day, we should create it. We should tell our guides what we expect. We should never let our days happen to us. We let our times happen to us. We go off and we think that we're going to help people. But you have to realize that the door in your life always opens towards you. Never opens outwards, always opens inward. And so many of us are beating at that door, trying to push that door open. We beat ourselves to death trying to get that door open when we eventually step back and go, God, it says pull. It says pull. I have a lady client that I've got, and she lived down here somewhere in Melbourne, somewhere in Palm Coast, somewhere down here, somewhere. And she wanted to go take care of her mother. And everything went wrong with it. She couldn't get her house sold. She couldn't get everything put together. And her mother lives in Oregon. I kept telling her, I said, Spirit's way of telling you, stop. Your mother doesn't need you. Oh, you're mean. Mom needs me. I said, okay. So she finally got this all happen, went to Oregon, bought a house. Her mother, as soon as she got there, her mother sold her house and moved here. Now she doesn't know what to do. We have these things in our lives that we keep forcing, trying to force the situation, force it, when we actually need to just step back and take a look at it. We need to start our day with affirmations, telling ourselves how good the day is going to be, how wonderful it's going to be. Years ago, it used to be vision boards. I guess some people still do vision boards. I don't really do vision boards because you're visualizing something into the future. What you should do in your life is write down on paper what you want. What personally can you accept in your life? I mean, there's a difference of wanting and accepting. What can you personally accept in your life? And as you write it, you've made your intention known to every one of those guides behind you. Then take the piece of paper and fold it towards you. Then you personally accepted it in your life. Then tear it up and throw it away. That time you've told your guides you want them to go get it today. Right now. But you have to personally accept it though. People don't accept things. They say, well, I want that, but then they go, well, I don't know. I don't know what I have to do how to get that. Can you personally accept what you get? And people say, well, how do you do that? It's a question of sitting still, asking yourself, is this good for me? It's seeing what your mind or your subconscious tells you. Does it make all this chatter and make you say, well, I don't know. Or can you personally accept it? That's what you have to ask yourself. We tell ourselves we're not getting what we really want in our lives. Maybe in your life you have a few crazy people. Maybe they need medication. Maybe you don't have it. Sometimes we attract people because we set our day or we don't. We let our day happen to us, and then these strange people arrive in our lives. Then we wonder why they arrive. Did we attract them? Everything that's happening in your life now, you thought about 3 weeks ago. You thought about it. You did something to make it arrive in your life. It's not other people's fault. It's what you put out. If you tell your guides or mentally tell your guides you don't like your job, then as soon as your guides pull your job away from you, it was the best job that you ever had in your whole life. But during the time you had the job, you hated it. You were just tolerating the job. There are always things in our lives that we should look at and be thankful for. You got up this morning. It's a good thing. You're here today. You got to cook your breakfast. Did you cook your breakfast? Nobody cooked your breakfast for you? Well, maybe we'll send somebody to your house to cook it for you. But if you did a few things today, got up, you walked, you got yourself dressed, you moved around the house, you did a few things, you should bless yourself. I got to do that. So a lot of people on this earth plane can't do that. Bless your life. Bless what's going on in your life, no matter if it is terrible. Because people always say, Lewis, you haven't walked in my shoes. You don't know what's happened in my life. Well, somebody else in this room's probably got a worse story than you do. Something probably worse happened in their life. And so we have to realize that we have to let it go. Even though we entered this earth plane, we had a few things happen to us, we need to let it go. Nobody really cares what happened years ago. We hold on to things. If somebody tells us something and says, oh, I have people come out and say, oh, Lewis, you look tired today. Mm-hmm. And I look at them, I go, I didn't look that way until you walked up. I look just fine. I looked in the mirror board. I look great. But we take things personally if we just let them go. A lot of things in your life are not meant to hold on to. Maybe you were in your kid's life for the season to be in their life. Maybe they don't speak to you. Maybe they're off someplace else. Enjoy your life. Don't worry about it so much. A watch pot never boils. Walk away from it. Your kids will call. People will come around. Walk away. Stop concentrating so much on something. If you concentrate on money constantly, you probably won't get money. Write it down. Tell your guides, this is what I want. Or better, they give you the Powerball at 184 million, you're not going to complain. But you want to. I used to tell people you have to buy a ticket to win. I had a client of mine pick one off the ground, was worth $8 million. So I can't tell you have to buy one. Just look on the ground, just in case. Maybe there's something on the ground for you. Spirit has a way of getting things to you. They have a way of positioning people, events, situations in your life. You have to follow the breadcrumbs. It's like a scavenger hunt with Spirit. Sometimes they give it to you. Sometimes they want to play with you. They want to lead you around for you to see if you really absolutely want it. You have to tell them and be specific. Explain to them. There's all these natural laws that come in effect. The law of vibration, the law of gratitude, the law of love, law of cause and effect, the law of like attracts like. There's all these laws that come in effect. You used to have a law of abundance, and everybody goes, oh, that's it. But they didn't put the other laws in effect. You've got to be grateful where you are. If you aren't grateful for what God has already given you in your life, then you're probably not going to get more. It's like a Christmas tree. You're a little kid, and your parents get you this gift, and you take it and go, phew. You think your parents are going to go out and get you another gift? they're going to give you a look. So you have to be grateful for what's here. Now, you might not have all these things in your life to be grateful for, but there are a few things. To start telling yourself, I'm good. And affirmations. In spiritualism, all the years I've been into this, I was raised a spiritualist. I've been through most of the camps. I spent a lot of my summers in Camp Chesterfield, Camp Pleasant, Temple Heights, Camp Edna. I was in Quebec. I've been overseas. I spent a lot of my time in spiritualism. The thing about my life is my mother was spiritualist. My grandmother was Catholic. My other grandmother was a Native American. And my father was a Baptist minister. So I had a little discussions at the kitchen table. But my father understood where I was. I had to be at camps in the summertime with my mother, and then at certain times I had to be in vocational Bible school. I had to learn the Bible. That was their trade-off. I could go play, but I had to learn. That was a trade-off. And sometimes we make trade-offs in our lives. We'll do something for somebody and hope to God we help them. But then we take it personally if they don't do what we think they should do. We hold on to it. They didn't do it. They didn't give it back to me. They didn't thank me. Let it go. All you do is you make yourself ill. I have a client now dying of cancer. All she wanted to do was go home with her husband as Pastor Spirit. She doesn't want anything, just go home with him. I said, you need to stop asking Spirit to take you home. I tell people, if you smell cookies and diesel fuel, the bus is coming for you and grandma's cooked cookies. They're coming to get you. And you have to realize that what you tell them, sometimes they bring it to you. Careful what you ask for because they're going to bring it. So that's what you're thinking, what you're understanding, what you're putting out to Spirit. Figure out what you're thinking, what you want from them. There's the 15 guides. I used to laugh because people say, oh, we're going to pray somebody out. That's my grandmother, going to pray them out of purgatory, going to pray them out. Nobody here is going to pray you out of anywhere. You got 15 guides that are going to follow you. When you leave this earth plane, they're going to be standing right next to you. They're going to help you get you to the other side. Sure, you might not want to do, you want to see what's going on here, but those guides are standing right with you when you get to the other side. Plus, there's loved ones and people, and hopefully, God, you have somebody in your life that loves you, and they'll be standing on the other side trying to get you home. We all have people from this lifetime or other lifetimes that will help us. My guide always tells me that in some lifetime, back sometime in your life, you were healthy. In some lifetime, you were extremely wealthy. You had money, you had health, you had wonderful relationships. Well, some lifetime you did. Ask for that. It's not sacrilegious to ask Spirit for stuff, but you have to accept what you're asking for. And that's where people get in a mess. They don't accept it. They question it. They want to know how they're going to get it. Lady questioned about the money. She didn't question about the money. They dropped the ticket on the ground. She picked it up. She's $8 million richer. There's things that will happen in your life. Spirit will lead you to where you need to be. They will heal you from anything. They will heal you from anything in your life. I had a client one time, I started working on her back, and she says, well, what are you doing to my back? I said, just sending you healing energy. She goes, my back is burning. I said, well, it could be the Spirit's trying to heal you. She said, I have emphysema. God can't cure emphysema. I said, well, you might have that for a while then. God can cure anything. We have to believe that we can cure. We have to believe and accept it. The same thing with everything else in our lives. We have to believe that we can accept it. Do you believe that God can help you? You've been all these lifetimes. Not one of you is a young soul, so might as well get over that. You've been here a few times. You've been this route before. You might as well get used to it. But we have to realize that this is one of our best lifetimes we've ever had. Because you get all that time behind you. All those lessons, all that stuff in our lives. Sometimes we take on lessons for people here. We take their life lessons on. People ask us for money, they don't give it back to us. Now we have a life lesson with money. They don't. They have our money. We put ourselves in situations that make ourselves sick. It's not our life lesson to be sick. We just put ourselves in a situation. If you have to do something in your life, if you have to go take care of parents, take care of people, do this, then set some kind of time limit with your guides. Say, you know, I feel like I need to go do this, but we're going to revisit this in 20 days. We're revisiting this. We're not taking this on. Don't take on things in your life that you know deep, hardly in your vibration, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. This isn't going to be good for me. Because it will affect your health. It will affect your well-being. If you're miserable today and you think you're miserable, then tomorrow you're just going to get a double shot of it. If you keep being disruptive in your life, you'll keep getting it. And you might think, well, that does affirmations work. Keep telling yourself, I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am doing the best I can, I am receiving the blessings from God. Keep telling yourself affirmations, even though your life is falling apart. Keep telling them. Tell them. There's always a way of changing your mind thought. Change your mind thought in your life. It might take a little while for you to change it, but once you change it, blessings start coming. It's only when we can change our mind thought and change that voice. I call it the monkey brain. It's that little voice in your head telling you, oh, you'll never get that. That'll never happen. What are you going to get that for? You want to change that voice. Every one of you should have money, should be extremely healthy, have really positive relationships in your life. With people, events in your life, have very positive relationships. That's what you should have. But sometimes we get in our situations and we go, oh, this is my cross to bear. That's my grandmother used to tell me, it's my cross to bear. I have no crosses to bear here. I'll help you and I will encourage you. Some of us just need to stand in the bleachers. Get our little pom-poms out. Be a little cheering squad. No, get down in the field with them. My father used to be a Baptist minister of a church here in Central Florida. But we used to run a large pig farm. Huge. Big. We had close to 10,000 pigs. We're talking big. And we used to have to go out and feed them. And my grandmother used to tell us this, never get in the corral with them, with the feed. Because if you get in there with the feed, with the pigs, they'll think you're food. So we used to throw the food over the fence to the pigs. Never got in there with them. And I always thought that was a good thing for people. There's sometimes people are in the pen. You don't get in there with them. Sometimes they'll mistake you for food. They'll start gnawing on you. And then you'll feel awful because you never got a chance to help them. Let things go. Nothing needs to worry about from today. From today forward, let it go. If people have done things to you, let it go. Let it go. Positive people will enter your life. If you keep thinking about something terrible that somebody did to you, somebody else will arrive in your life and do the same thing. Let it go. If you think positive about your health will get better. Most of my life as a kid, I had muscular dystrophy and polio. I was supposed to be dead when I was 18. I tell myself I'm healthy every day. Every single day. I'm walking. I'm out of a wheelchair. I'm here. So the question is you have to tell yourself, I'm healthy. I'm good. Spirit is taking care of me. And Spirit will. Unless it's a life lesson or a challenge for somebody in your life. Maybe you're asking for something and not getting it right now. Maybe it's the people around you. A few years ago, I was asking for money. I kept telling my guys, come on. I keep asking for money. Come on. And my guy said, ask Marie. So I went to my wife. I said, what do you think about money? She goes, we don't need no money. Ask for money, sweetie. We got to get on the same page. And with our lives, we have to get people in our inner circle on the same page with us. Because if people are asking for something different than what we're asking for, we're just kind of just running in circles. We're running in circles. Unless it's a life lesson or a challenge, you'll get exactly what you're asking for. So be specific and stay the course. People will stop the course. They'll ask for money and go, probably don't need that much. Maybe I'll just take this. And you got to remember, when you tell your guides to go get something, they leave you and go look for it. If you change your mind up the road, they have to drop whatever they picked up and come back to you and say, okay, what do you want now? Then they go out again. You go, oh, I should have stopped at that. I should have stayed at the first figure. I want that. They drop what they were picking up and come back to you again and say, what do you want now? Stay the course. If you ask for $1 million, stay the course. If you, whatever you ask for, you ask for perfect health, don't go, well, I guess I'll be okay. I'll ask, stay the course. People don't stay the course. We get too bombarded with everything. I listen to TV, we mute TV all the time. We got either lawyers, doctors, we got pill pushers, we got, oh my God, it's just constant. Telling us what we need. We don't need any of that. What do you personally need in your life? Because you have to realize that. What do you personally need? Not what other people are telling you what you need. They might want you to take on some kind of life lesson or challenge for them. What do you need? And what you put in motion, once you put it in motion, it starts to run, starts to roll in motion. Ask yourself, is this really what I want? Because once you start telling them and the bus starts moving, you're there. They'll bring it to you. It's like the lady right now that's passing the spirit. She's on the bus now. She can't step off the bus. She's there. She's put herself there. So where are we putting ourselves in our lives? That's the question in our lives. Where are we putting ourselves? The best thing in your life to do is to write down what you want. Write down. Be specific. There at the bottom of it, write, or better. You'll take better, but I want this. I need this. Fold it towards you, tear it up, throw it away. Didn't watch. A lot of us don't watch. Spirit might just drop in your life and hit you in the head with it. But most of the time, it's a hunch. People will show up in your life. I had a lady years ago, she said, I want a soulmate. I said, write down what you want. She said, I want a blonde-haired man, blue eyes. I want 2 children. And I want this, 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 this. I said, okay. She folded it towards you. I said, well, you probably won't meet him on your way to work. So you'll probably get a detour or be somewhere else. She goes, okay. So she got lost on a road. Her car broke down. This guy pulls up behind her. Blonde hair, blue eyes, and 2 blonde-haired kids in the front seat. She calls me on her phone and says, is he the one? I don't know. Talk to him. Roll your window down. Say hello. So he said, he's driving an old truck. I asked for money. I said, maybe it's for you. He happened to work for a large company. He does have money. But the question is she didn't want to accept it. That's what she asked for. It was pulled up right behind her. So what are you asking for? And when it appears in your life, can you take it? Because sometimes Spirit will send people to direct us to where they need to be. We might be in our lives right now just to affect somebody's life. Then our vibration moves. We go and change our lives. Most of the time when you're born there because of the people that you had to affect. You move in your life for a spouse or somebody else in your life. Or sometimes you move to take care of parents and help them, and encourage them, and get them to where they need to be. We're always in movement in our lives, always, of trying to find where we belong. We always ask ourselves, well, what can I do for them? Sometimes in your life you just have to ask yourself, what can I do for me? What's going to make my life better? Because if you're ill, if you're sick, if you're ill in your life, who's going to take care of you? My wife already told me if I get sick and ill, she's not taking care of me. She's not going to be my nurse and not going to be my purse. Not going to take care of me. Take care of myself. So the question here is, can you take care of yourself? Are you happy where your life is now? Are you happy? If you're not happy, you're just tolerating your life. Sit down, get quiet with your guides, and ask yourself, what do you need? Because here in a few weeks, instead of tolerating your life, you could be celebrating it. You don't want to just tolerate your existence. This might be your last go-around, your last hurrah on this earth plane before you go back to the spirit world. Tell them what you want. You gotta remember that everything you've ever asked for in your life is a little room on the other side. Some lifetimes you didn't collect anything out of that room. You came here, you lived here, you left, you never collected anything. Plenty of stuff over there for you. Don't think you're taking something away from somebody else. We have to believe in natural law. Everything you're supposed to get, you will get. You don't have to worry that you're taking something from somebody else. You all would not complain if you had enough money to do whatever you wanted to in your life. You would not complain. So tell your guides what you expect. I do every day. I create my day before I get up in the morning. Before my feet hit the floor, I create my day. I create what I want to see, what I want to experience for the day. And if I get it, then tomorrow I ask for more. I ask for Spirit to give me this or better every day. I don't let my life create my existence. I create my life. And that's what you have to do. Create your life. You don't need to be miserable in your life. I spent most of my life after my parents died raising my brothers and putting them through college and raising them and working 3 jobs. And spent a lot of time dealing with everybody else's situation. Took care of Marie's parents as they died, took care of others. Me and Marie finally said, that's it. My brother calls now, I say, there's 3 numbers on the phone that you can call that they will come for you. 911. I can't take you. I can't help. You got to, no. So the question is sometimes people in your life are better away from you. Away. Sometimes we want people, but sometimes there are certain people in your life, they just need to be away from you. I have one brother that lives in South Florida, one brother that lives in Tennessee, and it's a wonderful thing. They're not living near me. Sometimes relatives just need to be somewhere else. And don't beat yourself up if you don't get along with your relatives, don't get along with people. God bless them. I tell people, there's one thing about Florida. If you put it out next to the road, somebody will pick it up and you put 3 to good home. 2-legged, 4-legged, or a piece of furniture. Somebody will pick it up. So remember, don't think that you have it. Maybe somebody else can help them. Maybe somebody else can do what you can't do for them. If you've been doing something for somebody for a while and it hasn't helped, let somebody else do it. Go take a vacation. Go do something for yourself. Stop paying so much attention to it. Walk away. Eventually people will think like, oh, why aren't they looking anymore? I'm going to have to do something. And they have to do it for themselves. If it's not working in your life, step back. Remember, the door opens inward. It's got pull, not push. Step back from the screen door, open the door, and walk through. Don't beat yourself on the door. We were in New York, and we used to sit on the stoop. I don't know if people in New York know what the stoop is. And if you didn't go knock at the door and tell people if you wanted in, you wouldn't get in. And some people just sit on the stoop, wait for somebody to come to the door. Sometimes we just have to go up to the door and knock. Let Spirit know that what we need in our lives. So remember, what you need, what you want in your life, be specific. And Spirit will take care of you. I thank you. Thank you.